Yo, 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 welcome back to Why Dads Can't Jump. Here we are, live, as I'm being told from the production studio. We are live.
Live on YouTube.
Houston, can you hear me?
I think we have a problem. There's no one watching.
Well, but good news, we're live.
We are.
So, Main Man Chad practiced this live thing last week. Apparently went off with both people that watched are real interested. So we're going to try and do it here for everybody tonight. And
yeah, it's happening. I'm watching it right now live on YouTube on my own channel.
That's great. I am live in Wisconsin. I am up here for a family wedding. So it is going really good. I have
How's the weather up there?
Nothing but glowing things to say about 19 hours in the car with my family. And it's similar to Florida today, but tomorrow the dew point's supposed to break and the humidity is going to come down and it's going to be real nice. So, so far a mixed review, but it's supposed to be getting better. How are things down there in Florida?
82 right now. So, it's feeling pretty good. Honestly, I will say it's not that bad outside when the sun goes down. It's just in the middle of the day when it's the 112. I did see Tampa hit 100 for the first time ever, officially.
For the first time ever on that day?
I think ever.
Tampa had never hit 100 before?
I guess, because, if you think about as long as you've lived in Florida, like it's always hot, but it's always like 92, 94. It never really hits that. And obviously they're on the coast, which I think is going to lower the temperature a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. But and I guess that's probably true temperature hitting 100 because definitely the heat index has been over 100 before.
Yeah, because we've been in over, I think, 110 for the last 4 or 5 days.
Woo. Well, then compared to that, we're in an iceberg up here. So
well projected into the next few weeks as well. So.
Oh, seriously? No, you're supposed to cool down by the time I get back.
No, I don't think there's going to be. I don't think that happens.
Okay.
Until I guess what would that be? November.
Okay, well then I would like to announce that I'm broadcasting from my new permanent studio here in Wisconsin.
I can tell you're in Wisconsin by the drapes in the background. They're very Midwest.
Yes, that is exactly right. They're very Midwest. If I could,
the fact that they're even up there, what are those called? They're not curtains. The bunting, is that bunting? I don't know what that is, but that's I grew up in that. I grew up with that too. So it's not unusual. But I seem
very confident. I wish I could show you some of the furniture because it would definitely, confirm your theory.
Yeah, I can. I've already painted the picture based on the window, what it looks like, and I appreciate it.
And honestly, like this, yes, it is Midwestern, but that is not the worst. Like, I'll take pictures. We'll post. I'll take some pictures and just watch the socials, and you'll see. Oh, here's a perfect example. Today, do you know where I ate lunch? Of course you don't. We
Culver's?
ate lunch. No, that would be tame.
Yeah.
We ate lunch at the Cheese Castle. This place, no joke, looks like a castle, and they sell beer and cheese and wine, and they have a restaurant, a tavern attached because a castle doesn't have a restaurant, it has a tavern.
Right.
And Claire had the grilled cheese. It was phenomenal. I had the Reuben, which was recommended by the waiter there. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And it was decent. So to prove we're in Wisconsin, I ate at a Cheese Castle for lunch.
Yeah, another thing I could see in the background, and I always mention this at this time of year, because you always think of Florida as being the green, because of the lushness of the tropics and whatnot. But like, I can see out the back of your window, like the Midwest and those northern states when it's summer are so green. It's just like a different color green because the leaves are
brown the rest of the time.
Right, exactly. It's such a contrast from what you're used to. So you look out and it is just so green.
Right.
It's like the greenest green you could have because it's obviously the leaves don't have to be on the trees that long to maintain their nutrients. And it's a great look.
And in total picturesque Midwest, my kids were catching what out front?
Now this is interesting because
oh gosh,
it could be, I don't know what you call them there. We call them lightning bugs.
Yeah. Okay. Do they have another name?
Fireflies.
Oh yeah, those are synonymous for me. We call them lightning bugs.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
and
fun.
You're,
in the jar.
You're soda, right?
No, I'm pop.
Oh, you're pop. Right. Okay. Yeah. No, we were soda, and we do lightning bug. I mean, if you
Yeah.
said Firefly, I know what you're talking about, but
No one's gonna
Firefly is
smack
the
you.
name of that like song that came out in the 2000s.
And a hard iced tea.
Oh God, there are so many.
Well, it's
Like,
not a it's not an iced tea. I guess I don't even know what it's called. It would be. It's not like an iced tea that you crack open have a single. It's like a mixer, I guess. You
yeah,
put like make an Arnold Palmer with it, but it's like a Firefly tea vodka, maybe.
up here the family has Happy Ending, which is the name of a vodka premix cocktail in a can.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy is drinking the Jaws beer. It looks like, and the Happy Ending has like the 1975 sort of orange hue colors, and then in addition to that, he has the Jaws beer, which is like this gold with this quilt pattern across the front, which is in memoriam of Jaws's 50th year that since they filmed it, and
Yeah.
and so you can buy that now in the store. So his fridge looks like
Oh,
1975.
that's interesting
Yeah.
that they would have that up there. Yeah. Is it a yellow fridge? Because that would really make it perfect.
No, no. I'm sure that they live in a relatively newer subdivision, but we could throw a stone and hit a yellow fridge house. I'm positive of that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So
Yeah, I love the Midwest. Not that I've ever actually been in the Midwest, but I understand like the way it works because where I grew up is Midwest light, I guess.
yeah, the line is a little tricky. I mean, I think technically you were Rust Belt, but I don't know why
Yeah.
that precludes you from also being Midwest. So
Yeah, because we're just normal people. You know,
right. You're a little rusty, but right.
normal.
Okay, so we're here in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, to be specific. Lake Geneva is a massive lake, and it is known for predominantly people from Chicago who have hit it rich and done well come up here, and this is their summer paradise. Because as you know from properly living on the lakes, and I've heard you say this before, you lived right on Lake Erie, but you don't know the last time that you went to Lake Erie, even as a kid. Like you guys weren't like, hey, let's go swim in Lake Erie.
No.
And
One, you couldn't most of the time because the bacteria count was too high. So
there's that.
right.
Chicago may have that same problem. I don't know.
Well, it was fun too because at the beach, so at the peninsula, they had beaches like beach 1 through 11 or whatever.
Okay. Wow.
And they're like
super creative on the naming.
And they're like, beach 8 is closed due to high bacteria count.
But don't worry about 9 or 10.
Right, exactly. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, perfect. So all the Chicago people came up here, but this is an age-old tradition. And when I say age-old, again, you being Mr. History, you're going to love this. So the reason that Lake Geneva became what it was because back in the early 1800s, there was a people that would come up here, but it was raw woods. Like you were humping it in, like it was raw. And so actually the first group that came up here came up from the University of Chicago to build an observatory, which you can still go to today, which was visited by Albert Einstein.
Oh,
and
okay.
they obviously, to build an observatory, you need a lot of supplies. And they got some Gilded Age robber baron or somebody to fund the project of building a railroad line to come up here to Lake Geneva to drop off the supplies. Well, they didn't obviously, decommission the railroad line once they were done building the observatory,
Right.
which is what led to the ultimate development of the area. And so then
Did you go to like the Historical Society today?
Hey, no. Listen, no. I'm about to tell you what I did.
Okay.
So,
what is happening? You've been up there for 2 days and you're giving us the whole rundown.
Come on, man. I'm not just sitting here playing tiddlywinks. I got stuff to do. There's history to know. So, then who comes in here but the Wrigleys, as in Wrigley Field, the Cubs, like the whole Wrigley's, like Southern California. Apparently, they owned a whole bunch of it.
Like Double Mint Gum?
Double Mint Gum. This information brought to you by the boat tour that I went on today.
Oh, there it is.
So, it was... Now, I was dedicated to learning about the area. I thought we were going to be sitting on a boat and sweating it out and looking at the big houses and learning. And so that's what I went in there. It turned out that my wife had booked us on the air-conditioned boat with the ice cream social halfway through, which I was fine with.
Yeah.
But, that was a nice little twist to the story. But I was prepared to sweat it out. I'm ferociously, as we're walking through the, there's a beach there. It's just sort of this, I don't know, the Riviera is what they call it. It's just this, like, it looks like a train station, honestly.
Yeah.
It probably was. I missed that part of the history. And so I'm like furiously buying water. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, we're about to get on this boat for an hour and a half. Like, we're going to sweat. They're like, it's air conditioned. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that before I bought the water? So we get on here. The Wrigleys develop all of this. And the whole north side, like, it is, what they do is incredible. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to bore you for one more minute with the facts and history of a specific house called Stone Manor, which is actually across the lake on the south side from the Wrigleys. It is built by a guy who does something seemingly innocuous. Like, he sells like plastic tile, or, not plastic tiles. He sells ceramic tiles back in the day, and he does okay. But what he does really well at is the Great Chicago Fire. Everything burns to the ground.
Yep.
Anybody who's a little bit familiar, have you been to Chicago before?
No.
Okay. And the Loop in Chicago is the main drag. Like, you want to live inside the Loop because that's where all the high money real estate is. That's where all of the Chicago's version of Madison Avenue, where all their advertising firms are. That's where all the big businesses.
Not the murders.
That's South Chicago.
Got it.
So this is inside the Loop. And so this guy, when it burns down, these people are convinced that Chicago will not be rebuilt.
Mm-hmm.
He buys all the land for pennies on the dollar. He literally buys 95% of what is now the Loop in Chicago, and then sells it back for $1 bazillion.
Mm-hmm.
He's thought to be worth $25 million, which is the equivalent of like $800 or $900 million now.
Yeah.
So with his newfound riches, he goes to build Stone Manor on Lake Geneva, and he is going to build this 50,000 square foot, 7-story, 3 of which are subterranean, house into this rolling hill going down to the lake. And he has a budget of $150,000. So as house projects go, he spends $2 million, which is the equivalent of $80 million today.
Wow.
He has the pleasure of living in this house for 5 years, and then he dies.
Right.
He donates it to a religious organization. It wasn't exactly the diocese, but they decide to turn it into a girls' school, like Catholic or Catholic-ish girls' school. And there's only one small problem. This is still Wisconsin, and they still get winter. And back then, it would require one entire train load of coal to heat this 50,000 square foot home per day in the winter. Per day.
That's not environmentally friendly.
And unsustainable for the religious group running the girls' school. So they end up turning it over. It goes to somebody in the 60s, somebody in the 70s. And where we find ourselves in today is in the 90s, a developer buys it and splits it into 7 different condos and condos the whole thing out.
Yeah.
The wife of the owner of Starz Movie Network, she loves the property, and she now owns and controls 6 of the 7 condos.
Oh.
And she's waiting for the 7th dentist to change his mind and go to Trident, or so that she can get in there and buy the last one and turn it back into a single family home.
Oh, wow.
So the story of this house is amazing. But 50,000 square feet, like, are you trying to hide from your family?
Well, I just started watching The Gilded Age on HBO. Did you watch that?
No.
So,
have you seen it before?
No, it's a series. It's got 3 seasons of it, and it's interesting because obviously it's set during the Gilded Age, if you couldn't guess that. And obviously they have these opulent mansions that are no longer there because all these people lost their money during the Depression, and then their houses couldn't be kept up, and then they tore it down. But that's not what the show's about. The show's about new money and old money and the rivalries therein of these women. But anyway, I've only watched 1 episode of it. But you're talking about the Gilded Age, so
you make it sound
applicable.
Like the housewives of the Gilded Age.
It is basically because all they're posturing for social status.
Bingo.
and the old ones are dying out and they have old money, and then like the new people are coming in and hitting it big on whatever they're doing, and then the old money is mad at the new money. And
Literally, that is the reason "tale as old as time" that phrase was invented. Like, that is the story that will repeat itself for eons to come.
yeah, because you think about in today's world, obviously there was the 90s tech boom where you had the
Yeah.
new money with the tech money, and then you
Absolutely.
had the McMansions being built all over the place so people could, and then we obviously had the housing crisis where everybody lost those houses, and then
Whoops.
yep, oopsie.
Yep.
And yeah, so now I mean I feel like things have kind of leveled off. Like we obviously don't have we do still have the social stratification there, but I feel like it's much more blurred than it used to be. Obviously, it's not like the Gilded Age where people were dressing in a certain way, because now you go somewhere and people just kind of blend in, and you can find clothes at TJ Maxx that look expensive or were expensive at one point or whatever it might be.
Somebody paid.
Because there's so many
more for
knockoffs
them.
nowadays, you know, you can
Yeah.
you can blend with the rich folks.
You know, it's funny that you say that. As we were driving to the Rock Gym in Burlington this morning, a sentence I thought I'd never say, I drove past on what was I'm from Omaha, Kansas City. That's where my family's from. As we're driving down this road, which feels like Omaha, pulling into Burlington, there is a standard built in the 80s 2-story brick apartment complex that has the sliding glass doors on the side and a 5-foot tall double-decker cat house pressed against the sliding glass window with the rest of it covered. And I immediately thought to myself, I would work so hard to get out of that apartment that I would probably just sleep in my car until I didn't have to live there anymore. And then you drive down the street, a block, and there's reasonable houses, and then you drive 2 more blocks, and it is America. I mean, America is this melting pot, and it's just amazing that that person right there has that house, and you know roughly what it's worth, and you either choose to turn over your time or your energy or your talents to get the money and be materially successful, or you just sit in the cat apartment for the rest of your life, and that is what it is. And people's choices are fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's funny you said it, because where was I at? I was driving around somewhere. Oh, when I went to go pick up the sound bar, we drove south through Lakeland, through Mulberry, and then you're out in like cow country. Like,
Yep.
For people that aren't from Florida and only come down to Disney or Orlando, you don't realize that there's cows and like
There's
pastures.
country.
And it's just like, you don't know where you're at. You could drop anywhere and you'd be like, I don't know what state I'm in, because it's not all lush palm trees and perfectly manicured lawns out of there. So,
Right.
but we were driving through, and it was, how on the side of a state road, it's not a trailer park, but there's trailers on the side of the road. There'll be like a cluster of them.
Yeah.
And in front of one of them was not the latest model, but the model before, Corvette, that looked new enough that, I mean, you're not going to get into under probably 50.
Yeah.
So it's conceivable that they paid more for the car than the house.
No
But
doubt.
I guess, again, it's to what you said. It's like, if that person always wanted to have a Corvette and they're like, well, I'm okay living in this
Yep.
single wide, but I got my car, then that's what I'm going to go with.
We're letting it ride. I tell my kids that all the time. I say, you can, then this isn't just true for them, this is true for anybody. You can literally have anything, but no one can have everything. If you're Jeff Bezos, there's going to be a night where there's a party in LA in the Hollywood Hills and there's a party in Manhattan, and you want to be at both and you can't. I mean, you've got every resource in the world, but you just can't. There's always going to be these situations where no matter what your resource set looks like, nobody can have everything. So if the Corvette is your dream, you may live in a trailer, but or maybe you live in the Corvette. Who knows? But you can have anything, but nobody can have everything. And so I think that helps, kind of frame life for me.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing that I've always done is I get really crappy stuff at the onset, and then everything's an upgrade.
Low.
Right, everything. I had a 2009 Jetta
Yeah.
For 10 years. I got it used and I had it and it was bare bones. Like the AC didn't work or anything. And then I got a newer Hyundai Sonata. It's like not even the mid-level one. Like it's the base plus, I guess you'd call it. But it was like a spaceship for me going in there.
Right.
So it was amazing. It was like, it's got AC.
Listen.
It's got Android Auto. Now I did lose my CD player. That is one thing I'm still sad about. That is
what?
What's the new cars don't have CD players.
You just do it on your phone and you Bluetooth.
I know. I put the albums. I download the albums or I save them on YouTube Music or whatever.
Are you Napstering them?
No, on YouTube Music you can select albums and it will save them so you can play your albums. But I miss this. I still have my CDs. I still have my booklet. Did you have the CD book?
Of course.
With the leaf.
Yes.
Driving down the road, flipping that open.
Yes.
Trying to find the one you want.
But that was a more complicated time for our past listeners. They already know the origin story here. That you started out in the 09 Jetta because you like to brag. I started in the 86 Jetta that had a manual moonroof, and I had how many CDs? 2. I covered all the bases. I had not Boys II Men. That would have been a different experience for me. I had Beach Boys and I had Blink 182. So that's all I had. Later, once, like you say, start with that low expectations. Once I became bougie later on, then I got the whole flip collection thing rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I had, when I started out, was the just a single size one, but then I had the double. It was like 2. That's what I currently have. It's the hard shell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want those to break. And, sometimes I'll look through them, and I'll look through the burn CDs that I made, and those are some gems. I got a Christmas one in there.
Yes.
I got some movie soundtracks that I threw together. Not an entire soundtrack, just like themes of different movies.
I think that for the benefit of our audience, we need to take those and create Spotify lists based on the mix that you made, so that people can enjoy it in the exact same way that you mastered it originally.
Yeah, I bootlegged the Karate Kid soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Off of Napster. Yeah. Did that one.
Napster was it back in the day.
Those were simpler times, man.
Yep.
Simpler times.
That's exactly right. You didn't have to worry about going to the Coldplay concert and getting found out. Like, there weren't these types of issues.
Yeah, why do we care about this so much? It's blowing my mind. Like, it's 2 people that were cheating on their... I guess I don't understand. Like,
for me, it's great because of the stupidity. Again, just don't act like an idiot. Just stand there and nobody thinks anything.
Right.
They think
you brought so much more attention to it. And it's one of those things, like everyone in their circle had to know, obviously.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like
the girl that worked for her was standing right there.
It's one of those like worst kept secrets, but since it got publicized, they had to do something about it. But like everyone in that company knew that they were doing that.
Well, and speaking of worst kept secrets, I keep hearing the name Epstein come up.
Oh. Yeah. It's a hoax.
I feel like we're repeating the episode from 2 or 3 weeks ago where we talked about the fact that Trump was deflecting. It's still in the news cycle. He has been a master at being able to control the narrative around his news cycle, but he just doesn't seem to be able to do anything about.
No, this is too big. It's because this is something that his base wanted for so long.
And he promised.
Right, and now he's pivoted on it and no one's following through because it's so close and people want to know the names on the list. And they're not going to do anything with it.
No, of course not. No. This is, and forgive me if I've said this before, but like this is the old expression. If you owe the bank $1 million, it's your problem. If you owe the bank $1 billion, it's their problem because that will mess up their books. And so that's this thing. Like Trump is too big and too rich and too powerful. Like this is not his problem. Like it's not going to mess him up. He's good.
No. And those names that because Maxwell was meeting with Congress or congressional committees or something. She was interviewed twice and she was given limited immunity.
Right.
So I mean, even if like she starts dropping names, whoever's on the list is just going to be like, no, I wasn't.
The worst thing he could do would be to commute her sentence and let her go. they would absolutely lose their minds.
Yeah, that's another one that he was floating out there, which seems weird. Like, you go from this is a hoax to
I could let her go.
I can let her go.
I
right.
could say I won't. Hold my beer.
Right. It's just like, I wonder what he's doing or what he's thinking about. Like, I don't know. Like, he is all over the place. It makes no sense. It's hard. Like, it's weird that there's like, it's weird to me in any situation that people are so heavily partisan anyway that they just follow their ideology one way or the other. Like, they can't follow everything someone says. Like, it's impossible. There's got to be something you disagree with.
Absolutely.
But people are just like lockstep. But I think this is kind of showing the cracks that he might not have as much control over as many people as he thought he did.
I like the fact that Jerome Powell, did you see what happened when Trump and Powell walked the new Fed building that was still under construction?
Yeah, where he was like, that was for a different building.
Yeah, he goes, we built that thing 5 years ago. You threw that on here. Trump's like, wow.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Very few people can like real live time call him out and him not have anywhere to go. That was classic.
Yeah, and it's funny because that whole interview, if you, depending on what media you look at, they still spin it.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. It's just crazy how this is the world. Like, there's no way of knowing what information is real.
Well, and yet, the more they flail, the clearer it becomes. Like, no one believes that Epstein committed suicide in his cell because we've got the missing minutes on the tape.
But what if he did? That's the crazy. Like, there's always a simple answer to big problems. That's like the Kennedy situation. Again, like, that is something that no one wants to believe was a single shooter because it's just like, it's too big of a thing for one person to do. And so like, we don't want to accept it. But like, I don't think Epstein killed himself either. But like, even if he did, like, people don't want to accept that because it's just such a simple solution to such a huge issue.
Yeah, you're laying the Occam's razor on me. The simplest solution is the most likely the solution. And I agree with you most of the time. And I think that in this case, though, the simplest solution is he didn't kill himself, which is why the tape is missing. And therefore, boom, here we are. And like with Kennedy, I have said this from the beginning. Let's assume it's the CIA. Do you honestly believe that the CIA would not have taken the guys who did the job to the middle of a field and said, thank you for your service, kapow? Like, you would close up those loose ends immediately, wouldn't you? Like, there's 6 people on the planet that know, and they're all dead, to where the CIA, they don't have it in their records anymore. Like, it's done.
Yeah, well, because they said there's like thousands of pages of documents and stuff where they release all that MLK stuff. Like, what's in there? Obviously, I'm not reading it. I don't care enough.
That was a complete deflection.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But like, what's in it? Like, what are they looking for? Like,
nothing.
Everything that's ever been done, it's just pages of nonsense.
Yeah,
and that's what
make you go blind.
And that's what they would do with the if they ever released the Kennedy stuff.
That's what makes AI amazing, and it's amazing to me the number of people that still don't use AI and don't even really kind of have a functional knowledge of how it works. I mean, you and I both know that you could take 250,000 pages, and if you uploaded them, it could read it in seconds and spit out the high points. And I'm sure someone somewhere has done that, and the answer was nothing interesting happening.
Yeah.
And that's why there's no story.
I still, I'm one of those people that still finds it hard to use AI for like actual things because I feel like I'm still cheating. Like we talked about before, where you're using it as like a search engine, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But like to craft something, it still feels just, I don't know. Like it goes against all my moral fibers of growing up in an era where that wasn't an option.
I have a buddy who did research outside of AI to learn how to train his AI for him, and he pays for the service. So it like remembers him and is building his profile or whatever. And he's like, listen, don't ever give me an answer that you don't have an article that you can link to. Like, don't bullshit me, and don't be nice to me either. Like, if I ask you a stupid question, you need to say, bro, what are you, an idiot? Like,
yeah.
He has it talking to him and it is absolutely hilarious to watch. He uploads his lifting stats in the gym, and he on the third set he only got 9 out of 10. And when he went and uploaded that into the AI to have it like remember and build him next week's workout plan, ChatGPT goes brutal.
See, like that's something I don't even think about Chat GPT even doing, and it makes all the sense in the world is building a workout plan. But like, there's just like things that I don't even know to think about. That's so like when I'm bored and I'm like, I have every bit of human information in the palm of my hand on my phone. And when I open my Chrome browser, there's
You
the
go to
six
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's the 6 websites I go to.
Yep.
And then I'm like, well, that's it. Like I have nothing else. There's nothing else.
We've reached the end of the internet.
I've covered it all in those 6 websites, which are literally just sports and news. And then I'm like, I got nothing.
What else could we do today?
I could be learning anything about everything.
Right.
And I can't even begin to imagine. Like you go to the library, like in the old days, you go to the library, you see the book and you're like, oh, or you pull up the encyclopedia and you're like, L through N. Okay, well, it's going to be something. It narrows my focus. But the internet is just too big. Like, I don't know what to look at.
You know, and I feel like a broken record repeating this, but I feel like we are standing in 2000, 2001 or something like that, where the internet is here. Everybody knows that it's here. Like you're starting to maybe get a computer at your house that is hooked up to the internet, but like it's still so new and fresh that a lot of people are exactly where you're at with it. It's like, I know this exists.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not quite sure what to do with that information or with this tool. But if you read about it, if you look a little bit through the looking glass on this, you can pretty easily see that like we are going to start using it for everything. And anybody that doesn't is going to get cooked. Absolutely cooked, because the standard is the generation of kids that are going through now, obviously they're using it for ethical and unethical approaches to their learning.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's like a talent eliminator or equalizer.
Right. Yeah. Oh, this year. Okay. So the IMO, which is the internet, it's the IMA, the International Mathematics Association. They have it might be the IMO. Don't quote me on that. This isn't CNN or Fox News.
CNN doesn't fact check. Right. Let's be honest.
Exactly. So this is CNN. And so on that, for the first time, this is high school kids who are taking a math test where they sit around all year and try and think up 6 problems that have never been printed anywhere before. Not in a single textbook, not online. They are nowhere. They are making these things up. And the problems are so complex that unless you're a math whiz to start out with, like, the problem you would look at and go, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah. Pardon my French. And so these last year, AI, meaning like Google's DeepSeek and ChatGPT, were allowed to compete, and they got silver medals, meaning that they solved, it's a 2-day, you get 4 hours a day. There's 2 or 3 days. I mean, it is a brutal, brutal thing.
You're saying not they're like engineers, but they're AI.
And the high school kids taking it.
Yeah.
So the high school kids taking it are taking it over, I believe, 2 4-hour sessions, and they're solving a total of 6 problems. So they solve 3 problems one day, 3 problems the next day. They've only got 4 hours each day. So it is the computers, which are not being, the engineers get there, the problem gets inputted, and then the engineers stop and they just let the AI do its thing and see what it can do. So last year they got the silver medal. This year it got gold, which they went into it. The Google team doing this told the Google executives, listen, man, you need to plan on bronze, silver, like that's maybe where we're going to be at. So it was surprising to them that it got gold. Now, the kid that has gotten gold for the last 2 years said, son of a bitch. But
they caught me.
So that is clearly a brilliant kid who is what do you do on the weekends? Oh, I mess up ChatGPT. So the point is the technology is coming so hard and so fast, and it's getting so good that the agents conversation we had a couple weeks ago, everyone's going to be doing it. We're going to be all about it.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm going to be sitting in my little Midwest cavern with my weird drapes and ignoring it and living my ignorant lifestyle.
But I think that's because you have the benefit of age. Like, you have picked your career, you are in it, you have done what you needed to do by this point in your life to where you can just sort of ride that out into the sunset.
Right.
If you're 18, 19, 20, you don't have that luxury because you won't make it to the game if you don't know if you don't have these skills.
Yeah, because this is what our parents were looking at with us, obviously.
Right. And the internet.
And how crazy that was.
Yep.
And then we just got used to it. I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I grew up without it. So it was still like a learning curve for me. So that's why I think it's still crazy, I guess, because I still remembered being in high school and not having a computer. I didn't have a computer in my house till I was 18.
But did the high school have computers?
Yeah, we had a Mac lab and an IBM lab.
Whoa.
And we would learn how to do things on it with our floppy disks, with our names on them. That were literally floppy. We didn't have the hard ones yet.
That is funny.
Put them in, you had to do the latch to keep them from popping out. Old school.
I was so, like, I could not sit in my chair all day. I want to say it was 8th grade, maybe it was 9th grade. I should remember, but I could not sit still in my chair because I knew that my stepdad the weekend before had set up a brand new gateway in the Cow computer. That's literally what I was thinking of, right?
Yeah.
The Cow computer, not a Dell. We got a Dell later, but we started with the Gateway Cow, and it was awesome. And you could like play solitaire like no one's ever played solitaire before. But on Wednesday, I'm sitting in my chair, and I just can't think about anything because I know that the cable guy is there installing the internet on this thing.
Ooh.
And so when I get, and I'm talking to all the guys about it, because, you know, at the cool table, that's all you talk about is the internet.
Yeah.
And so
we talk about what you're going to look at on the internet when you get home.
That was where I was going with this. So I go home to look up the Bible verses that I've been thinking about all day.
Right, because you want to memorize them for Sunday.
He has this thing locked down so tight that I kid you not, I could no longer use solitaire. It was locked down. And I said to him, I was like, maybe I just don't know how to use it yet, but I was trying to look up, you know, ancient Roman history for class, and it wouldn't let me do it. And he thought that I was bluffing. And so fortunately, I was able to take him in there and do ancient Roman history, and it was like, and he's like, well, maybe we could make some adjustments. I was like, that would be wonderful, because this was a buzzkill.
Yeah, that's funny, because I remember getting my first computer. We had dial-up,
beep beep boop,
and I had net zero.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
Which was free, because we weren't going to pay for AOL. That was crazy. And then
well, they kept sending you those 100-hour discs.
Yeah, and then we got free dial-up from the college because I wasn't living on campus. They give you a little disc so you could hook into their server, which was
sweet,
pretty amazing. Took like 4 hours to download a song.
How do you, when you reflect back on the idea that like you were downloading songs and Mark Zuckerberg was inventing Facebook, what parallels and contrasts do you draw from those difference in life circumstances?
You know, I think it was because I assume Mark Zuckerberg didn't have a very social or loved upbringing.
He knew money would fix it.
So that was probably, you know, I think maybe because people that grow up in decent situations don't change the world.
You know, yes, you're 1,000% right. Like, you talk to anybody that's done something and they can tell you about adversity.
Right. I had none.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest adversity would have been anything self-inflicted. So.
Yeah, self-inflicted. Right. Yeah.
There was nothing.
Which I'm not even sure that counts as adversity. I have to look that up.
Right. Yeah. I didn't overcome anything. I just woke up each day and just did whatever I wanted.
Which, by the way, also doesn't make for a great college essay.
No, I don't. That wasn't a thing when I was going to college, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure what we've talked about for the last little bit here, but I think we did a fine job doing it. And I
We
will
got 2 people watching, so that's good.
hot dog.
That's 2 more than last week. If we grow this, I mean, exponentially, I mean, shit, we'll be at 120 in
That's great.
4 weeks.
Listen, we need to get audience reaction. If I need to go grainy next week too to make this work, then I can do that. So
yeah, I imagine there's a way to interact on the chat, but I don't know. Let me jump in the chat here and see if I can.
Okay, get somebody.
Do something here. Let's see here. I'm just gonna say hi.
Maybe. Yeah.
Does it show up for us to see it? Oh, it does. Yeah. So if you're watching and you want to interact,
bingo.
You can see it on the chat there. Maybe
be YouTube Live. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
So next week we'll be coming back at you live from Florida. We'll have some more updates. We'll talk about some other current events going on around the world. Maybe some anecdotes. Anything funny happened to you in the last few days here?
No, it's been hanging out. I got to go back to work on Wednesday, so there's that. So
the old grind. All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll have some good stories from that. Not that we can tell, but we can laugh about.
That will be for our private discourse channel, which we'll
maybe that'll be what we get subscribe. We get the premium account for. You can learn all the dirt of a certain public school or private school.
All right, be good.